Second. Hello and welcome to Ref Course. You're watching our morning live show presented by the IDFC First Bank. Today is the last day of not just this test match but the series as well. India, obviously, they are behind 16 runs, but Sri Lanka have only taken a lead of 16 runs with only 4 wickets in hand. And it's a follow-on innings. The only last recognized batter is Sonal Dinusha for them. How many runs they can add to their lead? What total they can post to India in the fourth innings? That will be something that is interesting to see. But whatever the total will be, India would fancy their chances of chasing that total in the fourth innings and completing a series whitewash. That will be the objective. But obviously they'll have to keep the weather factor in mind as well, because as of now, it's bright and sunny. There are no signs of dark clouds. But during afternoon, means post lunch, there is a forecast of rain, and it's a Poya day here in Sri Lanka. And it's a local belief that generally it rains here on the festive day, that is the Poya day. But today again,
it's a national holiday,
it's a national holiday, and the locals have this belief that whenever there's a Poya day, full moon day, which is
it's a national holiday.
Yeah, then there is then it always rains. But Indian team would be hoping that even if it rains after the result is there, after they have clinched the series. But today is another special day as we celebrate the birth anniversary of Sir Donald Bradman, one of the all-time greats of the game. And it's only fitting that we are here in Sri Lanka and not too far away. It's the Peace Era over. Well, Sir Don Bradman played a test match, and it remains the only venue.
He didn't play a test match here. He came here. He played a game, not a test match.
He played a game, and it remains the only venue in Asian subcontinent where Sir Donald Bradman has played a game. So again, it's only fitting that we are here in Sri Lanka. But first, we'll start with that only, Shamik. Sir Donald Bradman's anniversary.
Absolutely. I mean, we pay our homage. We with heads bowed, we pay our homage to the greatest batsman ever to walk the earth. 29 test matches, 52 test matches, 29 hundreds, 6,996 runs, and an average of 99.94. In his last innings, if he would have scored just 4 runs, the average would have touched 100. But Eric Hollis, he got out for a duck to Eric Hollis, and it added to legend. So once again, with bowed heads, we pay our homage. We remember the greatest ever batsman with reverence. And yes, and we now move on to this test match. Where Sri Lanka are leading just by 16 runs with 4 wickets in hand. So India would like to wrap it up. And Shubman Gill Shubman Gill would be part of an elite list, would be the third captain after Mohammad Azharuddin and Virat Kohli to win a test series in Sri Lanka.
And that would be something to remember for Shubman Gill for the long time, because this is his first series, not just as a captain but as a player as well in Sri Lanka. And to do that, to beat Sri Lanka in Sri Lanka, is not something that a lot of captains have done. Only 2 captains before Shubman Gill, Virat Kohli and Mohammad Azharuddin. Virat Kohli obviously doing it twice, but it is going to be a special feat. Yes, the runs may not have come from the bat of Shubman Gill as he would have liked in this series, but he has led the team brilliantly. And today again, it will be a challenge how quickly he can make the bowling changes, how quickly he can help the bowlers to bundle out the Sri Lankan team, because again, India is not only battling Sri Lanka out there, India will also be battling the conditions, the weather conditions, overhead conditions. If India wants to get the result out, then Shamik, once again the first session will be crucial, because if you go by the weather forecast, then post lunch again there's a chance of rain, and we saw how rain played a factor at the fag end of the day yesterday, and it was persistent rain, and something similar is expected during the afternoon hours today as well.
Yes, we are right. I mean, weather in this part of the world is so fickle, you never know. So India would like to wrap things up, and also, as and when it is done, it's just a matter of time. Sri Lanka cannot win this game. So whatever it is, even if it is a washout, I mean, I'm talking about the worst case scenario, even if it is a washout. But first, this show is presented by the IDFC First Bank. So even if it is a even if it is a washout, in the worst case scenario, India will win the series 1-0. So that also will be uh, first overseas win for Gautam Gambhir. First overseas test win for Gautam Gambhir as head coach. Gautam Gambhir took charge after the 2024 T20 World Cup. So it's been a topsy-turvy journey. It's been a period of turmoil as far as Test cricket is concerned. So obviously, the head coach will take this. Will take this, even if it is not a 2-0, because of the. I don't see whether playing spoil sport. I expect India to wrap things up quickly in the morning. But if in case rain intervenes, still, even if it is a 1-0 win, Gautam Gambhir, I think the entire Indian team will take that. I mean, not an issue.
Yeah, obviously they will take that, but again, if this game ends in a draw, then it will again jeopardize India's chances of reaching the WTC final, because now after that test match, only seven test matches remain, out of which India will have to win at least 4 or 5 scenarios. We will give you the WTC scenario picture after this test match ends. But again, Shamik, this match, if it ends in a draw, which is highly unlikely, then again the road ahead. Yes, it will be a first series win for Gautam Gambhir overseas as head coach. Shubman Gill's first Test series win, overseas. But again, that from a series point of view, you may have won the series, but if this ends in a draw, then the road ahead gets more tougher.
Yeah, absolutely. That is, but I don't think the Indian players, the Indian team is, keeping that World Test Championship position on their mind as yet, because as everyone from Gautam Gambhir to Siddharth Chakradak, everyone has spoken about taking one test at a time. Professional sports persons don't look that far ahead. You never know what is going to happen 2 months down the line or 6 months down the line. They go match by match, and they are going match by match. Over two test matches, they have been the better. They have been the better side. That's why they are on the cusp of winning the series. It could be 2-0, could be a clean sweep, and um, this series has shown the biggest positive, one of the biggest positives from this series, that apart from the Duke Particles emergence, the emergence of Manav Sutta, this series has shown the coming of age of Shubman Gill, the captain.
And obviously, there are few aspects of Shubman Gill's captaincy that still he will like to work on. Like yesterday, again, when the Indian team was on top, then again the field was spread out, and it was not even that the batters were set. Even when the batters were new at the crease, then also the field was spread out. Yes, you know that you want to avoid the runs because it will get tougher to bat in the fourth innings, but still again, field placement could have been more attacking, and with DRS calls as well. I think Shubman Gill will have to learn the art of taking the DRS calls better, because if you go by the record, 46 times he has taken the DRS on field when India are fielding, and then only 6 times he has been he's succeeded that result in going his favor. But Akash Kumar is saying that there is a forecast of rain starting at 10 a.m. Yes, there is a forecast of rain from 10 a.m. It will be an early start to the day, 9:45. So let's see. As of now, there is no signs of dark clouds anywhere. But again, as Shamik has also said, that in this part of the world the weather is fickle, so you are never sure. Yesterday also we thought that entire day will be without rain intervention, but it didn't happen that way. But Shamik, that's why again, when there is a fickle nature of weather, the rain can arrive anytime here, and the groundsmen will obviously anticipate it and cover the ground before it comes. That's where the time becomes an important factor. And if India wants to win, then obviously they will have to first get through Sonal Dinusha. Because Sonal Dinusha, in the last innings also, we have seen that first he forged a partnership with Keshara Nuvanta, that 50-run partnership, and then with Lahiru Kumara, he added 30 odd runs. So close to 100 runs were added for the 8th wicket and 9th wicket partnership, and that really pushed India back in the first innings. Something similar could happen because it's still a decent batting condition, so the first hour again becomes crucial.
Yeah, absolutely. It's still actually what has happened usually at the ACC, and from my previous experiences of covering test matches here. From day 4, the pitch starts to break. This time it hasn't happened because I was talking to a few locals, and they were telling me that as because there is this time around there is no wind, and because of that lack of wind, the topsoil. What does that wind do? It loosens the topsoil. But this time, as because there is no wind, the topsoil, that loosening of the topsoil didn't happen. And as the sun baked down, the pitch got baked down under the hot sun, and it became slower. So see, look, that partnerships Sri Lanka are playing a home test series, and some partnerships will happen. Like yesterday, Pasindu and Kamindu, the partnerships, and when that partnership was going on, I mean, we, the old timers, were thinking about opening that 2015 goal test scoreboard, where India had a first innings lead of 200 plus, but then Dinesh Chandimal completely turned the tide with a fantastic 100, and then Rangana Herat spun a wave around, and India lost that test match. But once again, Shubman Gill, he manufactured the wicket. That was not a catch, basically. That the ball was always going to fall in the no man's land. The way he ran behind, and that was one of the, I mean, that was one of the toughest catches to take in cricket. The way he ran behind, dived full length, and came up with that catch. He sort of manufactured that wicket. Brilliant, brilliant. I mean, that catch reminded me of Kapil Dev's catch to dismiss Vivian Richards in the 1983 World Cup final. So Shubman Gill once again was proactive as a captain. He used his spinners in short spells, and the way basically he didn't allow the shoulders to drop when that partnership was going on. And I think how many overs left from the second new ball? Well, I'm just checking how many overs left for the
I
second new
think
ball.
around 6 overs are left for the new ball, and
So that is once again should be advantage. India should walk to India's advantage, and I believe Kesar and Wanta, India should be a little more attacking still, unlike the first innings, and India have runs to play with. It is just 16 runs still, and unlike the first innings when they allowed Sonal Dinusha to farm the strike, I mean a spread out field, I think they should attack both batsmen on the fifth morning to start with, and I mean try to take wickets. And in that case, Sri Lanka um, very likely will under pressure.
and Shubman Gill, right from the ball one, will have to attack. This is where you can put the team under serious pressure. They only have one recognized batter in Sonal Dinusha, and then there's a long tail. But it will be now task for the Indian bowlers to wrap up the tail, which was not the case in the first innings. And Sri Lankan tail wagged and scored runs that obviously reduced the deficit. But now what India will be trying is to first set the attacking fields, because we have seen when there is a long partnership, then the fielders go back in the boundary lines, and not just one or two fielders. We have seen 3, 4 fielders on the boundary lines. You have to be more attacking when your team is in a commanding position, and I think India will attack from both ends, and that is exactly what they should do at the start of the test match of today. But Shamik, let's talk about a bit about yesterday. Yesterday, when there was a phase when wickets were not coming, there was a partnership. In the second session, only one wicket fell, and that was of Kamindo Mendes. Post that, Pasindu Suryabandar once again looked brilliant and scored a 92. But then India dried up runs post, and what it did, it led to the fall of the wicket of Pasindu Suryabandara, which was set up beautifully by Rishabh Pant. Rishabh Pant actually anticipated, Pasindu Suryabandara charging down the wicket. He alerted the fielders, he alerted the bowler as well that there's a catch coming. Although the catch didn't come, but something was done. So the moment the LBW appeal was turned down, it didn't go India's favor. In the next ball, before the next ball, Rishabh Pant alerted the fielders, and then the next ball, Pasindu Surya Bandara threw his wicket away, and obviously it was Rishabh Pant who did the formalities, but Rishabh Pant was missed on day two.
Yes,
On
yes,
day two,
yes.
and that this incident proved that why Rishabh Pant is so valuable to this team, not just with the bat but with gloves in hand as well.
To start with, it was an atrocious shot from Surya Bandar. You are batting. You are in your 90s. You have a test match to save. You are the set batsman. You are batting so well. You got a couple of early reprieves and you capitalized brilliantly on that. Why would you throw your wicket away in that fashion? Why will you be so predetermined? And the bowler preempted. And the bowler, you clearly gave um, an opportunity to the bowler to preempt your shot. And I mean, this is not test cricket temperament. This is absolutely not test cricket temperament. In a strong dressing room, Surya Bandara would be hauled up. It's not about scoring 92. When you are batting on, when you are batting in your 90s, you have a bigger responsibility than someone who has gotten out early. So you as the said batsman, you should take your. I mean, and also I'm very very disappointed with Dhananjay De Silva. What is his contribution on why on earth is he Sri Lanka's captain? I mean, I don't know what is his contribution over 4 innings. He has done nothing, absolutely nothing. And also, I'm a little, I'm a little skeptical about his tactical moves and everything. But that is not India's problem. And yesterday, see, one of the most fascinating aspects of the game was the two hubs of Manavsika. For the first time in the series, Sri Lanka took the attack to Manavsika. I mean, for the youngster, so far the life has been bed of roses as far as Test cricket is concerned. He started off with a 6-4 against Afghanistan on his debut. Then returned with a 10-wicket match haul in Gaul in the first test. And for the first time, he was in the line of fire and it was rude awakening. For a period, he was going at more than 5 runs per over. But as you said, that after two, India came with a counter ploy. They sort of they cut down. They choked those ones and twos. And I mean, the scoreboard and Sri Lanka were predetermined that we will play, we'll keep the scoreboard moving because this is the right ploy. But India's counter ploy forced them to take more risks. And in terms of taking risks, there were some brain-fed moments like Surya Bandara's dismissal, and they played to India's hand. It is basically about a side. Majority of the players as far as Sri Lanka, I'm talking about Sri Lanka. The majority of the players, I'm not impressed in terms of having test match temperament. This guy who is batting, this Sonal Dinusha, he looks an aberration. And he is someone. Um, Sri Lanka can, I mean, he is someone who can be the future of Sri Lankan batting in the long run.
And he is also a captaincy candidate as well. You know, he led Sri Lanka 11 in the 3-day practice game against India, and he leads his club as well, the Colombo Cricket Club from where he hails. So he is regarded as one of the players who has got a very good cricketing brain. So maybe, just maybe, going ahead, Sri Lanka might think about handing over the captaincy to Sonal Dinusha, but again, it's too early to take the call because he's only playing his fourth or fifth test match, very new to in his international career. He will need experience. Dhananjay De Silva, if you check his record as a batter, he has done well for Sri Lanka in Test cricket since taking over the reins. But yes, the results has not come to his way when it comes to leading Sri Lanka and getting those wins. That has not been the case with Dhananjay De Silva's captaincy, and that's what Sri Lanka will be worried about going ahead because this WTC cycle is done for Sri Lanka. They cannot qualify from this stage because now they are on the verge of losing the second test, and that will be curtains down on their WTC campaign.
So, I mean, officially, theoretically, they cannot.
Yeah, no. Then there is no chance because then you have Australia, South Africa, New Zealand, India. These four teams will majorly they will compete among themselves for the two spots for the WTC final.
England are also out.
England are also means England mathematically they are in, but it looks very tough. So as of now, only 4 teams are there who can actually make it to the WTC.
And Pakistan?
Pakistan, no. I mean, Pakistan has already hit the rock bottom. If you see Pakistan cricket,
No,
yes,
I'm talking about
WTC.
theoretically,
Theoretically.
they have a chance.
No, see, only I said only 4 teams, and out of these 4 teams, you will see 2 teams in the WTC final. That is Australia, South Africa, New Zealand, and obviously India. And a lot will depend on the Water Gavaskar Trophy. A lot will depend on the 5-test series that starts on 21st of January in Nagpur. That 5-test series will decide a lot about who will play the WTC final. But that is a long way ahead. But yesterday, Shamik, since you mentioned about Manav Sutar, in the first session, when Kamil Mishara and Pasindu Suryabandara took attack to Manav Sutar, before lunch or at lunch, his economy was continuously ticking around 7. That was a short spell. As you said, Shubman Gill was giving short spells to his spinners as well, because the fast bowlers were also bowling in operation. But post lunch session, again his economy was close to 5.
Yes.
And then came that break. Sometimes you need that break when the conditions become flat, and there you could see this. We talked about this, me and Devashi, that you could see how frustrated Manav Sutar was when that catch was dropped of his bowling, when Mohammad Siraj also got hurt. You could see the frustration for the first time in his short career. He was getting frustrated with wickets not getting. He was not getting wickets, and that desperation was there. But for a young spinner, how important it is at the start of his career not to get desperate for wickets, because there will be times when teams will bat. Conditions will be bad. You will not be able to take wickets, but it is important to maintain your composure and come back strongly, which he did in the third session.
Yeah, like Sairaj Bahutullah, India's spin bowler, who said at the post press conference yesterday. I mean, it it was an experience for him, and it will toughen him because Test cricket he will face a lot more days like him, like yesterday. He will face a lot more days like yesterday because Test cricket you have to earn your wickets, and the batsman in good conditions, wickets will not be served on a platter. So Manav Sudha, yesterday I think it was needed for him. It was needed for him that it is not that easy. Everything was falling in place for him. So that good awakening for Manav Sudha. But I was impressed the way after he came back, he took a couple of wickets. His poor shot selection from the Sri Lankan batsman played a part. But that's not the bowler's problem. It was important for him to get those 2 wickets, and he did that. Um, so, Manav Sudar, Manav Sudar will have a lot more days like that. And I also want to talk a bit about Sharans Jain.
Yeah.
Sharans Jain,
I was coming to
gradually the way he grew into the game, in the sense that not he has made, I will not say that he has made a serious impact, but the way he grew into the game, the way he sort of gained confidence. Sairaj Bahadullah gave a technical analysis of his bowling that he still doesn't have an overspin, and it is a work in progress, and that's because he bowls side spin. He is getting that rate. But Sharans Jain, something for someone who is making Test debut, I think he has passed. He has passed the exam.
Yeah, exactly. He has passed the exam, and you look at the way he started. We talked about this before the start of the day yesterday, that he bowled well, in the first innings as well. It was unfortunate. Just you need a bit slice of luck going in your way when you're playing your first game, and that was not the case for him in the first innings on day 2. But yesterday, when he came on to the attack, he was brought in as a first change bowler, and as I said, that India would be tempted to go with him with the hard new ball, because there were 2 left-handers, and then he got the wickets of both the overnight batters, first Lahiru Kumara and then Sonal Dinusha. And that delivery, Shamik, that delivery to Sonal Dinusha, he already scored 100. It was not a rash shot. He tried to play that delivery down with the soft hand, but such was the beauty of that delivery that it took the outside edge, and then it was a simple catch to first slip at KL Rahul. And even before that, the only bowler who troubled Sonal Dinusha, the centurion of Sri Lanka, was Saran Jan, who beat Sonal Dinusha on couple of occasions on day 2 as well, beating it the outside edge. But it eventually got the wicket of him, and I think that was the wicket that actually must have given him a lot of confidence, and that confidence was evident in the way he bowled in the follow-on innings. You look at the way he dismissed Niroshan Dikwela, and actually Niroshan Dikwela has been dismissed for the first time in this series by a spinner. So slowly you can see with wickets coming, he's growing into confidence.
One thing I should mention, and it shouldn't happen. That is, he has bowled far too many no-balls.
Yes.
He has bowled. Jadeja, Ravindra Jadeja is also an offender in this regard. And that question was asked at the post-game press conference. Sairaj Bhavkule, and he said yes, it's a concern. And interestingly, he said that if free hit is introduced in Test cricket also, maybe that will reduce because in that case the batting team will have a free hit and extra ball. So and in that delivery they cannot lose a wicket. So that will maybe that way. I mean, Saraj Bhavkale said basically when they are bowling that effort ball, they are trying to give a lot more effort. Um, uh, no balls are happening, but I can tell you, these guys are lucky. Be it Jadeja, be it Sharma, whoever. These guys are lucky that Sunil Gavaskar is not in that dressing room and he is not their captain. If you were their captain, you would have been in for a series probably. Because Sunil Gavaskar, it would have been beyond reproach for him. And several times on public platforms also, he has spoken about how it is absolutely not done that a spinner is a slow bowler is bowling a no ball. He said, I have never seen a Bishan Bedi or an Erapalli Prasanna or a Chandrasekhar and Chandrasekhar bowled with a longer runner. Anil Kumble bowled with a longer runner. How many times did he overstep? So from that point of view, and you know, it is about in the nets. Bautula was saying that in the nets they keep an eye on the fact that the bowlers are not bowling no balls. But as he admitted, this is an area India need to work on. This is a matter of concern, and India need to work on because there might uh, there might be a case, there might come a case when there is a wicket and the bowler has overstepped, and the entire effort will go in vain.
It was the case in Gaul. Dhananjay De Silva, I think he got out, he got a reply because that was a no ball bowled by Ravindra Jadeja. We have seen this time and time again with Ravindra Jadeja, not just in Test cricket, even in white ball cricket. I remember there was a game going on. It was a white ball game, and Rohit Sharma was standing at the slips. And the moment Ravindra Jadeja bowled the no ball, he said, "Bowl like the way you bowled for CSK." Obviously, he said in a light-hearted manner, but it's a obviously it's a criminal thing to bowl a no ball as a spinner. Obviously, there's a Prasidh Krishna who's tall, who's putting in the efforts. His average speed is 137, but he's not bowling the no balls. As a spinner, a Saransh Jain or Ravindra Jadeja cannot afford to do that. Yes, you can get away because there's no free hit, but see, it can eventually cost you. Like it cost Ravindra Jadeja a wicket in golf. Obviously, spin bowling coach would not, any team would not want their spinners to bowl the no ball. But Shamik, now because only few minutes left before we wrap up the show,
Do you have any questions?
let's see. इस केएल राहुल का टेस्ट करियर खत्म हो जाएगा क्या इस WTC के बाद? Amit, you would like to take the question?
No, KL Rahul batted brilliantly in both innings at Gaul in the first test. Why will that be the case? I mean, this cycle ends in 2027 next year, and we would like to see this partnership, Rahul and Jaiswal partnership going on for the next few years because until the next opener comes, and KL Rahul, I think he has at least 2 to 3 years, at least 3 years of cricket left in him, at least.
And if that is the case, and obviously it also depends on whether he remains in selector's plan as well or not. Because now, if you look at the backup option that you have in opening, you don't have a lot of options. Yes, there are options. You don't have a lot of options and quality options like KL Rahul. Like Shamik said, he has still cricket left in him. At least one more WTC cycle because he has done nothing wrong to be dropped out of the Test team. He's the vice captain as well. So again, it will be too foolish for us to predict the future of KL Rahul at this point in time. He's the vice captain. He's playing well. He's doing well. So I think he will retain. But Shamik, uh, again, first hour will be crucial. There is a new ball around the corner. So will you bowl spin from both the ends and save the fast bowlers with the new ball, or you will have a Prasidh Krishna bowling from one end?
Basically, let's see how the thought process. It will be interesting to see the thought process of Shubman Gill. But I'd like to see one of the fast bowlers from one end and Manoj Sudhar from the other to start with, because I think with this cloud cover and a bit of breeze is blowing, with the older balls, fast bowlers can get a bit of reverse swing also. So from that point of view, I would like to see a fast bowler starting the proceedings from one end and Manoj Sudhar coming in from the other.
And final question: do you see this game wrapping up before lunch?
Um, in an ideal world, as far as I'm concerned, I'd be very happy. I'd be very happy to see Sri Lanka getting bundled out by 10:30, and then India wrapping things up. India wrapping things up by 11:15 and everything. By 11:45, the press conference is on. By 2:30, 3 o'clock, all our work is done because I have a flight to catch in the evening.
Yeah, right.
So from that point of view, I would be I'll be grateful if things. I would be grateful if the Indian team consider my case and make things easier for me. But this is once again on a lighter note. Let's see how it pans out. If there is an early wicket, there is an early wicket on the 50 morning November. I don't think Sri Lanka's innings will continue for long.
Yeah, I think this is the partnership that Sri Lanka will bank on, the Kesharanuvanta Sonal Dinusha partnership. After that, there are tail enders to follow. So yes, let's see how quickly India can wrap things up and then come out to bat and chase the total and then complete a series whitewash. If the game goes to the second session, then obviously we will be back for the post lunch live session. But if it not, then obviously we'll come back after the moment the game ends. So yes, whenever we join, make sure you are also joining us for the live, and we will be giving you all the updates related to the series because now it's the final day, final frontier. It's the final complete things that India have to wrap up, and before they wrap the series and complete a historic series whitewash, as in respect to the what was said at the start of the series that Sri Lanka could pose a challenge, but so far it hasn't been the case. India are on the verge of easy victory in Sri Lanka. So yes, let's see what happens in the first session. Do like, share, and subscribe. Keep following us for all the
See,
updates.
I mean, a bit of cloud is forming.
Yeah, a bit of cloud is forming, but still sunny.
It's still sunny.
Still bright
Yeah,
and sunny.
but it's a bit of cloud is
And
forming.
a breeze is also blowing.
The-
Breeze is also
yeah.
blowing. So let's see if the weather plays a spoil sport in the first session. Indian team would not like that, but let's see what happens. So thanks for watching and keep following Ref Sports for everything. Neil, close the show. I think there is some technical issue. That's why we are unable to close the show as of now. Back in, please close the show. We have to rush. The game is about to start in a few minutes time. Till the time the show is getting closed, we will please throw us your questions. We will still take them. Weather report, it's bright and sunny, but as I speak, the one cloud has come just over the SSC. Breeze is blowing, and there is a forecast of rain after 10. So there could be showers, but unlikely that there is going to be a persistent rain before 12 p.m. The forecast of the forecast remains clear for the first 2 hours of the day, but then after post lunch, then it is going to be overcast, cloudy, and then high chances of precipitation. So yes, this was the weather report, and I think the matter is resolved on the back end. So please close the show, and we'll be back whenever the game ends. Thank you for watching.